a lot of stuff going on in the sports world with the March Madness bracket being released. I know me and you were talking about it pre-show. Um, I can't wait. I can't wait. I believe games start. Well, the actual tournament starts Thursday, but do the games start Wednesday, or is there a game on Tuesday?
There's 2 playing games Tuesday, 2 playing games Wednesday. I
Wow. Okay.
believe the NIT starts on it might be tomorrow.
I think the NIT is tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're we're in full swing of things, and I've been trying to pump out some March Madness stuff on my own channel. A lot of March Madness stuff, so I'm super excited. We do have two. As of right now, we have two different things you guys can join if you want to. We have an ESPN tournament challenge. That one is free to enter. Winner will we have a bunch of different merch that we are going to give out to a couple winners. And then we do have a paid entry contest as well. That one is more of a survivor, so it's not a true bracket challenge. It's basically you pick one team each day of the of the tournament. So round one is 2 days. You pick a team day one, team day two, and at the end of the tournament, if your team that you keep picking is alive, then you have a chance at $9,000. So that one is a $20 entry fee. Again, a little different than the traditional tournament challenge, but if you want the traditional, you can go over to ESPN. Both links are on our website as well as on our Twitter. So make sure you check those out. I know we'll have a bunch of March Madness stuff coming out. But Ethan, quickly talking about college basketball. I know we have a couple games coming on at 7, so we'll keep this kind of short. But we could talk college basketball honestly forever. How big of a sweat was that for you? I know. I mean, I'm a bitter little man. I was really rooting for State to get left out, but you had first of all they decided to do the play-in games as a 10 seeds. I haven't seen that often. Usually it's the 11 seeds that they do the play-in, so that was a little weird. But Michigan State was the last region to be announced. They allowed Virginia in, which is a shock to everyone. Probably the biggest shock of the tournament, honestly. That Virginia, it is a play-in game, but I thought as soon as Virginia was announced that Michigan State was screwed. But they survived. They're the 9 seed in the what is that? The West, North,
Yeah.
South,
Like
West.
the West.
Yeah. Tell me how that was going for a Michigan State fan, because it could not have been fun.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. I mean, I feel like they're always they're not always on the bubble like this, but I feel like they're always in that last region to be announced. I have to sit there and wait and go through every pick before I see where Sparty ends up. I feel like every year. But yeah, this one was different. This one, once they got those last playing games out of the way, I was pretty sure they had missed it. Same thing like you said when Virginia was announced. I was like, oh my God, they put Virginia in over Michigan State. But yeah, then to see them as a 9 seed, I mean, looks like they were safely in the whole time. Um, I don't know, kind of weird, but yeah, stressful. Happy they made it. Don't know if I love them against Mississippi State. Depends on what type of Mississippi State team we see, and really what type of Sparty team we see. Um, Sparty was dominating the glass against Purdue and Edie last time out. If they do that against Mississippi State, I like their odds. If they don't, it's going to be a bloodbath. So, but yeah, at this point, just glad they made it.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the bracket. I know I'm a huge fan of the Big Ten in those 7-10 games. Unfortunately, 0 Big Ten teams made it into that 7-10 seed, but we have 3 in the 8-9 seed. So today I went through a little bit of the Big Ten's history since 2000 in the 8 and 9 play-in game, or the 8 and 9 first round game. What I did find, it's not as good, not as appetizing as that 7-10 strategy or 7-10 statistics, but the 8-9 still isn't terrible. The Big Ten since 2000 in the first round when they're 8 or 9 seed are 12-7. So that's about a little under 66%. 8 seeds are 6-4, so profitable. 9 seeds are 6-3, so profitable. Michigan State as a 9 seed are 2-0. They've only been a 9 seed twice since 2000. They have won both games. And then Northwestern has been a 9 seed once, and they have won their single game. Again, not a huge data pool and not as nice of a trend as that 7-10 seed, but I still think it is semi-profitable taking those 3 Big Ten teams in those 8-9 games. Because again, in my opinion, those 8-9s, those 7-10s are the hardest to decide. And I mean, even the 6-11s now. I mean, I think there's 2 11 seeds that are favored over 6 seeds this year. And again, I haven't studied the line, but any little edge you can get on those 8, 9, 7, 10 games, I think are the best. So I think it's still a profitable strategy to take Big Ten teams in those 8, 9 games. Quickly on the bracket, is there anything else you wanted to touch on? Any controversial thing? I know we just talked about Virginia. Feel bad for St. I don't really feel bad, but St. John's left out. A couple other Big East teams. Oklahoma left out. Honestly, I don't feel bad for any of those teams because they did it to themselves. If you want to be in, you got to make a little run in your conference tournament. And a lot of those bubble teams got knocked out in their first game. So they did it to themselves. I don't really care about any of those teams. I know there's fans out there that are a little upset. I talked a little bit about the East region. That thing is loaded. The overall number 1 seed, the best number 4 seed, in my opinion, Auburn, Iowa State, who just ran the table in the Big 12 tournament. That's a loaded division. Anything else you wanted to quickly touch on the bracket? We'll have some more stuff coming out the next day or so on getting technical, but anything you want to touch on?
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, I mean, that was fun for us because I know you and I have talked about it over messaging, but we called it back in like early January that team might have been in trouble when they were a top 10 team in the country in the ranking. So kind of nice to see I guess we were right in that aspect. They were indeed in trouble. Lost a ton of games down the stretch, didn't make it. One of the 11-6 games that you kind of touched on right away, I believe it's New Mexico against Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
I know New Mexico's favored right when that matchup came out. I was like, ooh, that's my upset right there. I like New Mexico. Then the line comes out. New Mexico's the favorite. I know the talking heads on the bracketology show were loving Clemson, saying Clemson can make a run. Yeah, I don't think so. I like New Mexico in that game. And then the last thing I'll say, I went through and looked at all my futures on the tournament. I have a ton. If I don't, if I don't have a winning ticket when it's all said and done, I'll be pretty upset. They're all free bets, but obviously everyone knows the Kempom, top 20 offense and 37 defense or whatever, has won the tournament like 20, I don't know, a ridiculous amount of times in the last however many years. Saw another one just recently that if you are, let me find it here, 14 of the last 15 national champions were top 10 in Torvik from mid-January through first week of March. So if you take that stat there, you take the one of the KenPom, that leaves you with 6 teams who are on both lists. It's UConn, Houston, Purdue, Arizona, Auburn, Duke. So
That's great.
I have futures on all of them. Yeah.
I have 4 out of those 6.
Yeah. I have them all. I just hit Duke at 30-1.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about Duke, but just those metrics alone. Again, I've done it all with free bets, so it's a complete free roll for me. But I think if you wanted to put like a unit on UConn and Houston, a half unit on the other 4, obviously it's no guarantee that one of those 6 win, but it's pretty damn good metrics. And, this is well tracked over years and years. So I think you have a decent chance with one of those 6 teams.
Yeah, I have the 4. The 2 I don't have are probably the 2 that are going to find themselves in the championship game. I mean, I haven't really filled out a whole lot of brackets yet, but just looking at it, it's hard not to have UConn versus Houston. And those are the 2 teams that I do not have futures on, just because at the time I was placing them, Houston was like plus 400. That's not worth it for me. It probably is right now, but this isn't women's basketball. There's too much parity in college basketball and men's college basketball for me to put up plus 400. And then Houston, I think, is like plus 600. So I still have, I think those are the 2 best teams. But yeah, I'm pumped. Right now, just on the spot, give me one quick Cinderella that you like.
Oh,
and
man.
don't say McNeese State, because everyone in the world, or James Madison, everyone's loving those.
Colorado.
Ooh, okay. They're in the playing game, right? Against
against Boise.
Boise, right.
Then they'd play Florida, and then they would play Marquette. Love the winner of Florida Marquette, or Florida Colorado, or I guess Boise State. Love either of those 3 against Marquette.
All right. I don't hate it. You don't really hear about Colorado much. Pac-12 is a little bit down. I'm going to go, this one is kind of a common underdog, but I'm going to go Charleston. I think they got an easy draw here. Bama, I think, is very beatable. Then they have the winner of St. Mary's and Grand Canyon, I believe. And I think they can beat either of those teams. So I'm going to go Charleston. I like them. They almost beat San Diego State last year. I think they lost by 1 or 2 in the first round. And they ran the table this year. So I'm going to go Charleston, a little public, but I do like them quite a bit. Again, we could talk brackets all freaking day. We will have a couple getting technical episodes coming out in the next day or so, predicting just a little bit of March Madness stuff. So stay tuned for that. But do you want to get into today's slate? I saw your tweet earlier today. I'm excited. You have, I think you said 2 NBA plays. I have all NBA today, and I kind of have taken a break from the NBA like the last week, to be honest, just with all the college basketball going on. So I'm going to bet it tonight. So I'm hoping that I have 2 that I think you're on. I think I know your 2 bets. I like one of them. I'll probably get convinced on the other. I'm going to send it to you first. What do you like?
Yeah, first off, tonight's schedule sucks. 2 hockey games.
Yep.
7 or 8 NBA games, which is nice. A nice NBA slate for a Monday, but no college basketball already hurts. I'm glad, it's coming right back tomorrow. Also, don't sleep on the NIT. A lot of great matchups, a lot of great basketball in the NIT. I know Tyler Perry made his name with North Texas last year. Got himself transferred to Kansas State. Now he's back in the tournament. A lot of good players in that NIT tournament. I think the kid from Wake Forest, that stud that they have on their team, he's going to be a fun one to watch. So yeah, March Madness is obviously king, but NIT is some good basketball as well. Last thing I'll say about the tournament too, don't call me shocked if Colgate upsets Baylor in the first round.
Ooh, I like Colgate.
The 14-3, 5 straight in the tournament for Colgate. They know what they're doing. Yes, first play on the board tonight. We'll see if Wyatt can completely read my mind at this point. I am taking – oh, gosh, I'm on the wrong day here. I'm taking the Sixers, -1.5. -105 is what I got it at. And simply this is Miami, second of a back-to-back with travel. They beat Detroit on a buzzer beater 3 yesterday. Kind of an emotional play, a full 48-minute game through the final buzzer there. Got the win. It was against the Pistons, so it's not a huge celebratory moment, but still a big win for a team that needs every win they can get at this point. They're 7th in the East. Now they have to travel to Philly. I think it's just a bad spot. Philly is off a win on Saturday. They had yesterday off, so just a little bit more rested at home. 4-game road trip coming up after this one. Again, they're also fighting. These teams have the same record, 37-30. The Sixers are 8th in the East because the Heat have the tiebreaker. So, yeah, huge matchup for these two teams. More rested is Philly, and they have a better scheduling spot here.
Yeah, it's going to be backwards, but I do have Philly right here. Philly -1.5. So I knew you were going to be on that. You love your Sixers. I'll probably be betting that as well. I like that quite a bit. It doesn't really make any sense why the line is that low. I believe that opened at 4.5 in favor of Philly too. So obviously public is on Miami, no doubt there. So I like Philly as well. I'm right there with you. 1 for 1. But you always have Philly, so that one's not a huge surprise. That one was probably pretty obvious. I think I know your second one though, so I'm going to send it back over to you.
Which I don't look for Philly. It's just they find me. But yes, I have it all over the Sixers. There's actually another team that I've been all over lately that I have a lean on. I don't think I'm going to play it.
Okay. I think I'm going to be wrong then.
Okay. So Philly's your play too?
Yes. Yep. I'm on Philly as well. That's my favorite play of the day.
Okay. That's up there. I think this one edges it just by a touch. I'm taking the Jazz +5.5. I think they went outright. These teams just played on Saturday. I loved the Timberwolves, and I got too drunk. Didn't bet them. Was sad to wake up and see they won and covered that game easily, and my money wasn't on it. It's an instant revenge game here for the Jazz. They're at home. Always love taking the team after the loss to bounce back and get it done. And I am seeing public money on Minnesota, this line has gone from -7.5 down to -5.5. So reverse line movement coming in, which probably puts that play just a little bit higher than the Sixers. But love them both. I'm on them both.
Ben, what is up, brother? How are you doing? Did not call that one. Did not call the Jazz. So I got the one, but yeah, I haven't looked much at that game, but I don't hate it at all. I was thinking I'm going to use this one as my second play. I was thinking you were going to say this. I'm going to take the Warriors at the -7 at home against the Knicks. -7 seems like quite a bit. No one's really out for the Knicks. I'm seeing OG Anunoby or whatever, but I don't really think he's that big of a deal. I was expecting like Brunson or someone out with this line like this. The line's too big, and I get it. The Warriors won late February by 11 at New York. I don't know. The line seems pretty big. I don't know. It's just too much for me. So I think the Warriors are going to cover that big spread. Hopefully they win by double digits. Was thinking that was going to be your second play. But yeah, I'm going to take the Warriors at the -7.
Yeah, so my lean is actually the opposite. I like the Knicks.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah. Not playing it though. It's not quite strong enough for me to get there. But yeah, I just like the situation more for the Knicks. Like you said, they just lost the last game of February to the Warriors, and this is the Warriors' first game home off a 3-game road trip. So always like fading that team. But yeah, I've seen the line just keeps going against the Knicks. So I don't know. Don't love that game. I'm going to go to tomorrow for my next play, my final play. In the play-in game, I'm taking Colorado State -2.5 against Virginia. I mean, that's the only good thing about Virginia being in the tournament. You get to fade them one more time. And I thought this would be the most public play out there. I saw Ben Fox on Twitter, one of the guys that you and I follow for public and sharp action. Most bet team in the tournament so far on BetMGM, Virginia +2.5. So, yeah, give me Colorado State. Looks like that line's already flipped. I think they opened as a 1-point dog. They're now a 2.5-point favorite. And if they're super public on BetMGM, which is one of the most public books out there, yeah, give me Colorado State just in a probably emphatic victory, 15, 20 points.
Yeah, I gotta just love fading Virginia. I was kind of hoping they were gonna. Well, they shouldn't be in, but I was hoping, like you said, they were gonna get in so I could bet against them. I was kind of hoping there would be a higher seed. Nothing better than betting Virginia when they're like a 3 seed or whatever they were last year. Were they a 3 last year? 4, 3 or a 4. They lost
4
to
maybe. Furman.
Furman. They were a 4 against 13. That's
4. Yeah.
Yeah. Just love betting Virginia. It's like death taxes and betting against UVA and March Madness. Yeah, they won it in 2019. Whatever. Congratulations. It's probably worth it if you get one national championship, honestly, but it's still fun to make fun of them. I'm going to go back to a same game we already talked about tonight. I'm going to go to the Heat and the Sixers, and I'm going to take the under in this game. It's at 208.5. This line is moving. Literally, I just refreshed on my phone. It was 207.5. But I got it locked in at 208.5. Like you said, the Heat just won on was that last night or last night or yesterday on a buzzer beater by Bam, believe it or not. Hit a 3-point at the top of the key. The Sixers are very low scoring. We saw the Sixers and the Knicks last week score an old-fashioned 2004 NBA game. I think it was like 79-77 or something like that. These both two teams play a lot of defense, don't have a whole lot of offense. I like the under quite a bit at 208.5. I do have 2 plays in that same game, but I'll let it ride. I think that's my favorite total of the day. I'll give out one other lean that I like, but I can't tell if it's square or sharp, and that's the over in the Cavs Pacers. I believe it's at 224.5. I know the Pacers are pretty much a dead nuts over team. Cavs are more scoring than they have been in years past, but no Donovan Mitchell tonight, so the line has plummeted about 5 points. I think it opened at 228.5. It's down to 224.5 the last I checked. So I kind of like the over still. I mean, I like betting teams without their star players. I know you do as well. And I think some Cavs are going to step up, and the Pacers play absolutely no defense. So I lean that over, but I'll probably stay away just because I'm not sure if that's a sharp or a square play. I can't decide what the public's up to in that one.
Yeah. Quick speak on that total. Love it. After that low scoring game, I know I texted you and said, got to be the over because those teams played back to back against each other. So it's got to be the over. These teams just both put up like 70 points. So I took the over. It was not the over. They still went under by quite a bit. And it was actually that same exact. I had under 208.5 in that game. So yeah, I like that under quite a bit. I'm actually seeing it's already down to 206.5. So
Jesus.
gotta get on it. Gotta get on it. But yeah, I'm in need of a nice 2-0, easy day before the tournament, before the real madness begins.
Yeah, I'll give a quick story before we wrap up here. I was getting destroyed in conference tournaments last week with college basketball. And how a bookie works is they give you credit. So my credit's not that much. It's like $150. Lost it all like on the first or second day. So then without like the whole week, you have to wait till you pay up your bookie like on usually Tuesdays or whatever it is. But I had a future. I had one future on New Mexico to win the Mountain West, which was like $5 to win 30. Like, woo, yippee. Parlayed the $30, got all my credit back in the bookie. Don't owe him a cent. I'm back. March Madness is back. It's a bad time to be a sports book with me getting hot. I'm not hot. I'm down so many units this month, but still, it was finally one for the good guys that I got it all back. But yeah, I'm desperate for a win as well. Trying to build up a little bankroll for the weekend. Again, I'm going to do a couple different blind strategies in March Madness. The underdog strategy, as well as the first half under strategy as well. So got to build up a bankroll for that because there are, 32 games going on. So yeah, would love a couple winners tonight. That's what I'm looking forward to. I wish I put more on that under, but I might have to hop back on. I don't know. Hopefully it goes up a second before the game starts. I doubt it, but would love for that Heat Sixers to be at 208 by the time it tips off, but we will see. Again, looking forward to the next couple of days. We have March Madness, busiest time of the year, one of the busiest times of the year, greatest time to be a sports fan, in my opinion. A lot of content coming out. We will have a Getting Technical coming out sometime soon, predicting each region. Maybe we'll also have a little futures episode. I don't know. We'll have a lot of March Madness for you guys. So stay tuned. It's happening really quick. I'm a little overwhelmed, to be honest. Yeah, can't wait. Do you have anything else to add? Anything else at all?
Yeah, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm bummed I have to freaking work on Thursday and Friday. I might lose my job. I'm going to be not productive. I just can't wait. I love the tournament. Day one is just, it's like, I think I would trade the Super Bowl. Like if I never watched the Super Bowl again, but I could still watch day one of March Madness, I think I would do it. I just absolutely love it. Favorite day of the sports year for me. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm overwhelmed. Yeah.
And Michigan State tips off as, I believe, the first game.
Yeah, the first game, naturally. So
first game of March Madness. So it could be a quick postseason for you guys. Or if you guys win, I think North Carolina is beatable. I think that's the
most beatable one.
Besides Purdue, but you don't want to play a team from your same conference. In my opinion, I'm not super scared of Purdue. The refs tried to get, I know we talked about this. The refs tried to give Purdue every single thing they could, and they still couldn't beat Wisconsin. But anyways, for Michigan State, obviously you don't want to play a team in your same conference. I love their chances against North Carolina. Love it.
Yeah. I will say one more thing quick, just touching on Wisconsin. I know your friend tweeted at me when I X'd it with like 15 minutes left yesterday.
Oh, did he?
You could just feel that game. I had Wisconsin plus 4.5. They were up 10 with like 15 minutes left. Illinois got back in it with like a minute. They scored, I think, 7 points in a minute to pull right back in. And from that point on, 15 minutes left, I knew it was just going to be a dogfight down to the wire where Illinois was going to be up 2, probably a minute left. Get to the line, make their free throws. Wisconsin missed bucket, foul, free throws. Probably going to be a 6-point game. Sure shit. Went just that exactly how I knew it was going to. Yeah, I just thought it was funny. It was very close. I mean, Wisconsin took a few leads during that time, but the whole time I just knew Illinois is going to have a small lead, make free throws, lose the spread. But yeah, not a great conference tournament yet again.
Right. Again, boys, that's what we got for today's live. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We will tweet out our plays as well. Make sure you guys are following us on Twitter. Again, we do post our official plays on Sharps as well. Use our code BET269 as bet with 2 T's, BETT 269 over on the Sharps app, as well as join our couple different March Madness tournaments. We have our traditional ESPN bracket tournament, bracket challenge, and then we do have a Splash Survivor pool. That's a little bit different layout. You basically pick one team each day. So, for example, if you want to pick San Diego State, which you probably should not do, but day one, and then pick another team day two. If you keep picking the correct teams, you keep advancing, you keep surviving, and then the last team or the last entry standing at the end of the tournament has a chance of winning $9,000. So it's a $20 buy-in. Make sure you check that out as well. And again, we'll have a lot of different things going for March Madness, so stay tuned for a bunch of content. And that's all I got. Good luck, boys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.